Welcome back. We are going to go through the initial out-of-the-box setup of this guitar. When I say out of the box, I mean just getting this thing ready to see how it plays without doing an official professional setup. I'll go through that in another video. So I already updated the firmware. If you haven't done that, you got one of the new ones, you're going to need to update the firmware. Check out that video to see how to do it because it's not easy, but it is functional and it works, and it gets it to connect to the app. But right now we're just going to tune this thing and check out how it sets up right out of the box. So first thing is tremolo bar, whammy bar that comes with it is threaded. I don't know if that shows up on the video or not. I don't love that it's threaded. I like the slide-in ones a lot better, or like the Bigsby on the Gretsch behind me where it's just fixed to it all the time. But we're gonna go ahead and screw this thing in anyways and see how it performs. I don't love how loose it is, it wobbles a lot. I feel like that might make noise. We'll see how it records, if it picks up noise or not from that. But anyway, super loose whammy bar. Some people may like that. Springs on them are lighter than what I would like, but that's okay. I'm sure if I take off this back panel here, I might be able to add a spring to it or put tighter ones in there. A lot of spring noise too. Yeah, a lot of spring noise. All right, let's see what this tuner here is all about. So this came with it, with the Litejam as part of the Kickstarter package. Box is pretty beat up, but as long as the actual tuner itself works, that's cool. Yeah, nice. Nothing like a battery just clipped in between the tuner and itself. All right, so that back just slides off. Shove that battery in there. And it lights up, cool. I'm assuming G is for guitar. We're just gonna clip this on our headstock here, rotate it around. All right, let's check out the low E. I can tell right away the strings are not quality strings. If you're just using this for practice, or if this is like a present for a kid, they probably won't know the difference. But if you're gonna actually use this thing to play or seriously try to get better, I'm gonna go ahead and swap these strings out after I do a setup. But yeah, the strings just, they feel kind of crummy. So we're gonna tune this thing up. Okay, there's low E, A. Ooh, that one was high. Remember, every apple does go bad eventually. Little things that stick with you. Okay. All right, that tuner seems fairly accurate. I normally use the tuner on my Helix, especially when I'm doing live music. But yeah, that'll work. Okay, immediate first impression is you can feel every single fret. They're fairly sharp. Sharp enough that you feel them, not sharp enough to hurt you or cut you or anything. But that makes me really tempted to do a full neck build on this. Okay, let's just try a G chord. Okay. Okay. The blade switch for the pickup selector is really tight, which I don't mind. Just different from what I was expecting. Volume knob, little knurled covers on them. Honestly, it feels like the whammy bar gets in the way of them. but I heard some people saying that their tone and volume knobs are a little bit wobbly or loose or off-centered. Mine seem to be fairly straight. Volume knobs and tone pots, like those things are super easy to swap out. So if that's really out, that's a really minor thing. All right, initial impression, it's actually pretty good. So a little tuner that comes with it. I'll keep trying it and I'll keep using it, but for the most part I use my Helix on the floor for tuning, especially if I'm in a live environment. After getting the firmware set up, this will connect to the app. It does update and show you scales and chords and everything, so it was a little bit of a headache to do that. I've got a video that shows how to walk through that, but nonetheless, once you do that, it actually works. With just some initial tuning, just here's a G chord. There's some really minor buzzing, but we'll go through a full setup later and check things like if the neck needs any relief or what our actual action is set to. If we need any intonation changes, I'll go through a video doing the full setup for that. I don't love the whammy bar, the tremolo bar. The way it just free spirals around like that drives me nuts, but I feel like I could put a thin layer of Teflon tape on there and keep it from, one, making a lot of rattling noise, but also give it a little bit more stiffness so it doesn't interfere with my tone and volume. Blade switch for the pickups is firm, but at least it's firm and not loose and wobbly. And then just the major thing that I was sharing was that these LEDs you get on this neck pickup right there, and it generates a lot of noise. I'm going to play with my Helix and see if I can get a noise gate there to filter out that frequency. But all in all, I do want to keep playing it. I do want to keep trying it. We'll go through full setup. I might need to do some neck work to it because these frets are a little bit sharp, so I might want to file the edges of the frets just purely for comfort. I mean, the more you can keep a guitar neck in your hands, the better. Every little time you feel that on your palm or on your fingers, it's just a little bit irritating. But all in all, initial impression, it's actually pretty good. If you have questions, let me know.